I'm John Riley O'Hanley, and I play Sheriff Nate Fields.
What happened? I thought we had a date for this weekend. Oh. Ken got passes to Disney World, did he? And plane tickets too. Well, that's exciting. Yeah, of course. No, I know you've never been on a plane before. No. Hey, don't worry. No. It's all right. I understand. Yeah. Yeah, sure, sweetie. Yeah, we'll do it another weekend. Yeah, you and your brother have a great time, okay? Okay. Bye-bye. Yeah, I love you.
How did you find out about the AKOOLFILM company casting for The Sanctuary?
I came across the casting notice for The Sanctuary as I was doing my regular sort of rounds of checking casting sites, and found it on IMDb. So they had posted their casting notice, and that's where I applied. So I sent them all of my IMDb profile, and from there they got in contact to do a little taped audition, and the rest is history.
Your character is a sheriff in a police department. Did you have to do any research for that role?
It was interesting playing a sheriff. I've been cast several times in independent television things as police officers or detectives, so I had become pretty familiar with their physicality, how they stand, and who they are in that sense. I didn't do any other extensive research on police officers or being a sheriff outside of other film research. And I spent a lot of time concentrating on the inner life of Sheriff Nate Fields, because lots of his scenes are about who he is as a human as opposed to who he is as sheriff.
Sheriff Nate Fields, when you talk about his inner life, his character, he's got a lot going on. And how did you prepare for that dynamic without giving, any of the storyline away?
Of course, no, we won't give away any of the storyline. I mean, it's a beautiful thriller of a movie, and I don't want anyone to get the inside track on it. So Sheriff Nate Fields, he has a pretty complicated situation where he's showing up to a town that is all of a sudden needing him to be there, and his circumstances become clear that he's having a hard time internally, but personally, with his family, and this is quite a big shift for him. So for me, looking into how a character explores that and to bring honor to his circumstance, I really looked at my own life to understand where in my life it lines up, and where the similarities in my life and Sheriff Nate Fields were. From there, I found all sorts of amazing depth of information that I could really bring to Sheriff Nate Fields, where I could bring myself, John Riley, and Nate Fields together. So a lot of my prep work was on the emotional side, understanding his family, so that any loss or excitement that he had was truly coming from a sense of loss or excitement that JR would also have.
Yes, and that's what I thought. You probably had to dig a little deep to find some of those emotional ties to create the character. And after seeing the movie, did you have a favorite scene or a favorite moment that you picked out?
There's a lot of amazing moments in the movie. Right from the opening shot, the beautiful drone shot of St. Marys, it really sets up the cinematography throughout the entire movie. All of the camera work, including some of the camera work where they went around and around, two people having a conversation. So captures of that style were incredibly impressive. Most of my favorite scenes definitely did include Edna and Harley. Those two going at each other, their relationship, seeing those actors really bring those characters to life stood out amazingly to me when I got to see the film.
What about you, John Riley? Is there anything that we can find out about you? Perhaps when you started your career in acting, and maybe what do you do in your spare time?
Well, I've been kicking the can with acting for a while. Different cities. In Halifax, in my undergrad, I did some acting. Then I moved to Toronto, and that's when I really started doing more film and television. That was great. I had a theater company in Toronto, but I only ended up in Toronto for maybe 4-5 short years. And then I ended up in New York, where I continued to really invest in my craft a little bit more. Did extra training, more training down in New York City, as well as films and some theater down there. Since coming back, it's been an amazing experience finding independent filmmakers like Alan Cool and his entire team. So that's where I'm kind of sitting right now, but I have always had a passion for the arts and storytelling and characters. Just these characters, in some ways, I've always wanted to be able to help the characters that I portray, so I like to really dig in and bring their inner life out. Ever since I was a kid, I'd be reading stories with siblings, and it would be the kernel at the inside of what's motivating the character that always drew me to any kind of story, and being able to bring that to life for other people is always what I've enjoyed doing most.
I just wondered now if there's anything you would like to add to, I haven't maybe asked you a question on, there's some little comment or anything you'd like to add about the production or your experience, or perhaps something that you'll take away from this experience?
From early on, being cast and invited into the family that is AKOOLFILM company to participate and create with them, it's always been very welcoming. The way that they are approaching independent filmmaking is incredibly inspiring. I look at what they're doing and how they're incorporating people and making them feel at home and like they are a part of the entire team. It changes how I looked at being on sets. I'm incredibly grateful for the opportunity to have been able to create the Sanctuary. And I hope to, in my future, if I'm continuing in the arts, as I imagine I can't survive not doing, that I hope to be able to create the same opportunities for other people the same way that AKOOLFILM company has created a real community family.
Well, that's really nice to hear. Thank you. And thank you so much for making time, John Riley, for making time for us at the Sanctuary and for this interview.
Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.